Here are the top stories for today, March 20, 2020. President Duterte has called on Congress to hold a special session on COVID-19. Law enforcement agencies have simplified guidelines on checkpoint exemptions. The International Press Center is working overtime to process media workers' special pass. And limitations are set for food and non-food products purchased. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Our top story for today, President Rodrigo Duterte has called on Congress to hold a special session to pass a supplemental budget that will be used to combat the coronavirus disease. Duterte made the call following the recommendation of Senator Christopher Lawrence Bongo and other lawmakers. In a press statement late Thursday, Go stressed the need for Congress to pass a measure granting a supplemental budget that can be used amid the government's continuing efforts to stop the spread of COVID-19. Go said the proposal to hold a special session was already discussed with Senate President Vicente Sotto III and House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano. He said both Sotto and Cayetano have expressed readiness to hold a special session at the soonest possible time. Earlier, Malacanang assured the public that the government has enough funds to address the COVID-19 outbreak in the country. Meanwhile, Malacanang on Friday denounced the proliferation of false narratives about the supposed increase in the number of crimes amid the implementation of month-long enhanced community quarantine in Luzon. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo issued a statement a day after Philippine National Police or PNP Chief General Archie Gamboa said reports of robbery and burglary in some areas in Luzon turned out to be fake. The false narratives became viral on social media. Panelo advised the public not to believe the fake and alarming news of alleged crimes or planned crimes to be committed that are circulating online. The PNP's anti-cybercrime group is now tracking the fake news peddlers who claim that some workers affected by the Luzon-wide quarantine were forced to steal food and money. Panelo urged the public to report to law enforcement agencies any crime. Prices of food and non-food products will be regulated as per the Department of Trade and Industry. The DTI issued on Thursday a memorandum circular setting a limit in buying food and non-food products to avoid hoarding and panic buying. It aims to prevent unreasonable price increase in basic goods, as well as products intended for health protection, such as face masks, medical devices, alcohol, sanitizers, and disinfectants. The order limits the selling of the following food products per transaction: 5 pieces per type per brand for locally produced instant noodles, 5 cans per type per brand for regular size, and 3 cans per type per brand for big size for locally produced canned sardines, 5 cans per type per brand for small size, and 2 cans per type per brand other than small size for canned regular milk, 2 bundles per brand for powdered milk in sachet, 2 bundles per brand of instant coffee in sachet, 10 small bottles, 8 medium bottles, 5 large bottles, and 2 extra large bottles of any brand of mineral water. For non-food products, consumers can only buy the following per transaction: 2 pieces for 70% solution antiseptic or disinfectant alcohol, regardless of volume, 2 pieces for hand sanitizer, regardless of size, 2 pieces for disinfecting liquids, regardless of size, 5 bars of bath soap individually sold, and 1 pack if sold as a pack, 10 pieces for toilet paper if sold per roll, and 1 pack if sold as pack, and 5 pieces for any type of surgical and N95 face masks. The Joint Task Force Coronavirus Shield on Friday warned the public against disinfect and sanitation scams in wake of the COVID-19 crisis. TFCV Shield head Lieutenant General Guillermo Eliazar said only the national government and local government units are allowed to do such functions. He also urged the public to immediately report to police groups professing to offer such services in exchange for a fee. Meanwhile, PNP Chief General Archie Francisco Gamboa said local police units are instructed to coordinate closely with security managers of commercial centers and vital facilities and leaders and barangay authorities of residential communities to establish neighborhood watch systems that will alert police and residents of possible security situations. Gamboa said the PNP will deploy more mobile patrol units for anti-criminality and police visibility operations in the vicinity of commercial centers, vital establishments, and residential communities. The Food and Drug Administration already approved COVID-19 test kits, and telco companies are calling for the responsible use of the internet. More on these from Joyce Cudis.
The Food and Drug Administration on Thursday released a list of approved COVID-19 test kits for commercial use. The FDA says these are the PCR-based reagent kits used in laboratories and not point-of-care or do-it-yourself kits. The public is urged to be vigilant about the entry of counterfeit products and be watchful of those who try to take advantage of the current situation. Private companies in Daraga Albay are showing their gratitude to the frontliners by giving free water and food to health workers and police officers. This as Jollibee will be distributing free food packs to all personnel assigned in the COVID-19 checkpoint starting Friday on March 20. SM Malls and Bicol also pledged to supply free bottled mineral water to health and police frontline workers. In other news, telco companies called for the responsible use of the internet and the enhanced community quarantine in the country. Internet users are urged to refrain from using torrents or peer-to-peer downloading of multimedia files that hog bandwidth and negatively impact other users. Unlike internet networks at offices, home and mobile broadband networks may become strained when used simultaneously by more people. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Joyce Cudis.
Still to come, the International Press Center is working overtime to process media workers' special pass. The Transportation Department puts up hotlines for transport concerns. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Sa matinding laban natin sa Coronavirus Disease 2019, sugpuin din natin ang pagkalat ng fake news. Huwag magbahagi ng impormasyon na hindi tiyak ang pinagmulan. I-check mabuti ang source ng balita. Kumuha lamang ng impormasyon mula sa mga official channel ng Department of Health. Huwag magpadala sa maling balita, basta't sama-sama at laging handa. Kaya natin to. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito. Tandaan ang tamang paraan ng paghuhugas at paglilinis ng kamay upang makaiwas sa iba't ibang karamdaman. Basain ng tubig ang mga kamay at sabunin. Unang sabunin ang mga palad at ang likod ng mga kamay. Kuskusin na maigi ang pagitan ng mga daliri at maging ang mga kuko. Isunod ang pagitan ng mga hinlalaki at kuskusin ng paikot ang mga dulo ng mga daliri sa magkabilang palad. Banlawang mabuti ang mga kamay sa malinis na tubig at patuyuin ang mga kamay gamit ang single-use towel o air dryer. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito. Pangalagaan ang sarili laban sa Coronavirus Disease 2019. Hanggat maaari, umiwas sa mataong lugar. Iwasang hawakan ang ilong at bibig, maging malinis sa katawan at ugaliin ang wastong paghuhugas ng kamay. Takpan ang ilong at bibig kung uubo o babahing. Umiwas sa mga taong nagpapakita ng sintomas ng coronavirus disease gaya ng lagnat, ubo at sipon. Magsuot ng face mask kung kinakailangan. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa. Kaya natin to. Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
And you're still watching the PNA Newsroom. The International Press Center is working overtime to process all requests for special passes which exempt media workers from the Luzon-wide enhanced community quarantine. Our News and Information Bureau International Press Center Director Virginia Arcilia Agtay made this assurance as the March 21 deadline for the application of special passes is nearing. Media personnel, including reporters, broadcasters, cameramen, photographers, and their crew drivers covering the COVID-19 pandemic are exempted from the quarantine's guidelines. Agtay said to ensure the unhampered operations of media outlets, those providing media support who are part of the skeletal workforce will also be given Interagency Task Force on Emerging Infectious Diseases Special Media Pass. As of Thursday noon, the IPC office is flooded with almost 4,000 applications for media accreditation. She said in the meantime, only media entities covering the National Capital Region will be processed. Provincial media members, however, may later be issued exemptions if the situation in their localities warrant it. She said IPC will defer to the recommending media outfits or agencies to take prudence in the list of personnel submitted to the office. IPC is a division of NIB, an attached agency of the Presidential Communications Operations Office. And in our business news, ANZ research forecasts more easing measures from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas in the coming months. Following the 50 basis points reduction in key rates Thursday, ANZ cites the need to ensure growth stability. It said the BSP statement regarding the slash in the central bank's key rates this week maintains a clear easing bias. Aside from the rate reduction, the BSP's policy-making monetary board also cut the rate of its rediscounting facility and eased penalties on required reserve and single borrowers limit. The BSP said the lockdown could help in slowing the spread of the virus, but noted that the resulting disruptions to industries and private spending are likely to reduce economic growth in the near term. Monetary officials revised downward the average inflation forecast for this year from 3% to 2.2% and the 2021 figure from 2.9% to 2.4%. Government buildings and other public places undergo disinfection in Cabanatuan City. And in Cebu, 35 mayors submit themselves to self-quarantine. More on these and other news from the provinces from Lane Cabagani.
The city government of Cabanatuan has conducted citywide disinfection against the new coronavirus disease or COVID-19. At least 50 personnel of the city government started the disinfection of the buildings within the City Hall compound here on Thursday. The disinfection was also done in schools, churches, and other establishments in the city. The city's two major public markets, including the Vegetable Trading Center, are also subject for disinfection. In Bulacan, Governor Daniel Fernando led the emergency meeting of the local interagency task force on Wednesday, discussed or heightened measures to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in the province, where 6 confirmed cases and 1 death have been reported. Fernando issued an executive order for the imposition of stringent social distancing measures to prevent further contagion. In Cebu, the president of the League of Municipalities of the Philippines Cebu chapter and 34 other town mayors in the province are undergoing enhanced social distancing and self-quarantine. The decision came after confirming from the LMP National Chapter that Baliwag Bulacan Mayor Ferdy Estrella was found positive of COVID-19. LMP members from all over the country met for an event in Manila last March 9. Meanwhile, the Islamic Advisory Council of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao has temporarily suspended all congregational prayers in the region due to the threat of COVID-19. BARM Grand Mufti Abu Huraira Udasan said the suspension will run from March 19 until April 10. The suspension also includes the regular Friday congregational prayers in all mosques in the region. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Lade Cabagani.
More stories from the newsroom. The Department of Transportation launched several hotlines for those having trouble with transportation amid the COVID-19 pandemic. For those who need help on land transportation, specifically health workers who need transportation in Metro Manila, the DOTR may be reached through landline number 02-7980-2387 and 02-7980-2390. Mobile users may also text or call 0917-876-8535 and 0917-876-8523 for road transport concerns. Aviation concerns, or for those who need information on flights leaving or arriving in the country, they may call landline numbers 02-7980-2391 and 02-2392. Mobile users with aviation concerns may also text or call 0917-876-8573 and 0917-802-2224. For those needing help with port operations, cargo, or maritime vessels in the country, the DOTR may be reached through landlines at 02-7980-2394 and mobile at 0917-876-8594. Up next, villagers in Catanduanes work together to combat COVID-19. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Alamin kung paano ang tamang pagsusuot ng surgical mask. Una, hawakan ang mask sa strap at siguruhing natatakpan nito ang inyong bibig at ilong. Tandaan, ang may kulay na bahagi ng mask ang dapat nasa labas. Ito lamang ang tamang paraan ng pagsuot nito. Ihulma ang nose piece o maliit na metallic strip ayon sa hugis ng inyong ilong. Iwasan ang paghawak sa inyong ilong at bibig. Kung marumi na ang mask, hubarin ito gamit ang strap at itapon ito sa isang basurahan. Siguruhin ang maayos na paghuhugas ng kamay gamit ang sabon at tubig. Ang surgical mask ay dapat gamitin ng mga pasyenteng may sakit sa baga o mga taong mayroong ubo, sipon at lagnat, mga nag-aalaga sa mga may sakit, at mga healthcare at frontline workers. Maaari ring magsuot nito kung kayo ay pupunta sa matataong lugar. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito. Alamin ang tamang paraan ng pag-ubo upang mapigilan ang paglaganap ng Coronavirus Disease 2019. Ugaliing magdala ng panyo o tissue. Kung uubo o babahing, takpan ang buong ilong at bibig gamit ang panyo o tissue. Kung walang dalang panyo o tissue, maaaring gamitin ang braso na pantakip. Kung nakararamdam na kailangan umubo o bumahing, agad na dumistansya sa mga tao sa paligid. Huwag dumura kung saan-saan, gumamit ng tissue at itapon sa basurahan. Ugaliin ang paghuhugas ng kamay at paggamit ng alcohol o hand sanitizer upang mamatay ang mikrobyo. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito. Alamin ang mga dapat gawin sa lugar ng trabaho laban sa Coronavirus Disease 2019. Ang mga kumpanya ay dapat magbigay ng face mask sa kanilang mga empleyado. Bukod dito, magbigay kaalaman din patungkol sa COVID-19. Siguraduhing malinis ang kapaligiran. Maglagay ng sabon at hand sanitizer sa mga palikuran. Siguraduhing ligtas at nalutong maigi ang mga pagkain sa kantina. Obserbahan ang kalusugan ng mga empleyado at katrabaho. Kung sakali man na mayroon silang sintomas ng coronavirus disease, gaya ng lagnat, ubot sipon at hirap sa paghinga, ay agad ipasuri sa doktor. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
Law enforcement agencies comprising the Joint Task Force Coronavirus Shield have simplified guidelines for the smooth passage of persons exempted from the Luzon-wide enhanced community quarantine. JTF-CB Shield Commander and PNP Deputy Chief for Operations Lieutenant General Guillermo Eliazar said they crafted a simplified guide as there appears to be confusion for both those tasked to implement the guidelines on the ground and the people themselves. Based on the guidelines, exempted from the quarantine are workers in basic services and delivery of goods and other necessities, and authorized government officials. The basic services are subdivided into 4 category groups: medical, funeral, emergency, responders, and security. Workers of banks, delivery personnel, utility personnel, such as in telecommunications, water, and electricity, are also exempted. Only 1 person per household is allowed to buy basic necessities. Skeletal forces of the executive branch are also allowed to pass through checkpoints. Senators and congressmen and their chief of staff, cabinet secretaries, undersecretaries, and assistant secretaries and bureau directors will also be allowed. Other exempted are top officials of the judiciary, down to judges and prosecutors, governors, journalists, BPO employees, employees of the critical transport facilities, and outbound and inbound international passengers and drivers. Eliazar said commanders have been tasked to disseminate information and coordinate with barangay officials. Malacanang on Friday took a jab at the CPP founder Jose Maria Sison for claiming that President Duterte's declaration of a unilateral ceasefire with communist rebels was premature, insincere, and downright false. Duterte on Wednesday ordered the suspension of military operations from March 19 to April 15 to pave the way for the government's response to contain the spread of COVID-19. Sison, however, said there is no clear basis yet to reciprocate the unilateral ceasefire declared by Duterte. Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo said Sison should grab the golden opportunity to show his patriotism by extending his hands for peace for the sake of the Filipino people. DILG Undersecretary Jonathan Malaya said the communist movement is showing its true colors over its outright rejection of the government's unilateral ceasefire. In the event of a communist attack, Malaya said government forces are prepared and will have no resort but to protect themselves. President Rodrigo Duterte has expanded the coverage of the Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program, or ECLIP, to include former violent extremists as its beneficiaries. Duterte on March 18 signed Administrative Order 25, which amends AO 10 that only entitles former communist rebels to benefit provided under the program. Qualified former members of the Abu Sayyaf Group, Maute Group, and other extremist groups can now avail of the government's assistance. The new AO also adds the Department of Social Welfare and Development and the Office of the Presidential Advisor on Local Extremist Groups Concerns as new members of the Interagency Task Force for the Reintegration of Former Rebels and Violent Extremists. AO 25, which was released by the palace, takes effect immediately. In our foreign news, more than 84,000 people have recovered from COVID-19 globally, according to the Johns Hopkins University Center for System Science and Engineering. Of the total number of recovered patients, 70,000 are in mainland China and about 57,000 coming from Hubei province, the epicenter of the infection, which came to limelight last December. Meanwhile, according to the website, more than 219,000 people have been affected, while the death toll exceeds 8,900 across the world. The virus emerged in Wuhan, China last December and has spread to at least 166 countries and territories around the globe. In Catanduanes, Bayanihan comes alive as villagers work together to help stop the spread of COVID-19. The residents of Barangay Kabugao in Bato Town are making washable face masks that can prevent the spread of the disease in town. The endeavor came about as many of the locals are having difficulty in buying protective face masks, alcohol, and vitamin C. They have made the most of staying at home in accordance to the government's quarantine measures against COVID-19. The villagers would distribute for free the washable face masks to fellow residents from Binanuahan, Marinawa, San Andres, and Kabugao with the help of volunteers. To date, the volunteers have distributed the face masks to the sick and elderly in the villages as donations in kind keep pouring in. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. President Duterte has called on Congress to hold a special session on COVID-19. Law enforcement agencies have simplified guidelines on checkpoint exemptions. The International Press Center is working overtime to process media workers' special pass. And limitations are set for food and non-food products purchased. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check out more news content, check our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for all these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also, watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And as the first weekend of the enhanced community quarantine rolls around, we advise everybody to stay home, stay safe, and let's all work together to combat this time of crisis. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.